John. My name is Catherine Holcomb.
Hi, Catherine.
Thanks for coming in today. I went over your intake, and so I understand that you're in your mid-30s and you recently lost your wife. I'm so sorry to hear that. Before we get started, I'd like to go over the limits of confidentiality. Everything you say in this session will be kept confidential. There are a few exceptions. If you mention thoughts of or possibly actions of suicide, homicide, if you mention abuse or neglect of a child or a vulnerable adult, and also in the case of subpoena. These are the exceptions that I would have to break confidentiality. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I read through all the materials that you handed me.
Okay. So, can you tell me a little bit more about your recent loss of your wife?
Well, we had been married 6 years, and then she was just all of a sudden taken from me 2 months ago. She was involved in a car accident where the other driver was texting while driving, and then the other driver just didn't see her, I guess. So their cars collided, and she was brought to the emergency room, and she didn't make it. So that's when I got the phone call that she had passed.
I'm so sorry to hear that. That sounds awful. So how are you feeling right now? I mean, you mentioned that she passed about 2 months ago. So how are you coping?
Well, right now, I guess I'm feeling just kind of hopeless. Like I don't know what's the point anymore. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life, and I don't know. I guess how I'm coping is just very poorly, like crap.
So you mentioned you feel hopeless, and right now it seems like, I can see that you're very sad, and that makes sense after experiencing this tragic loss. I mean, that's to be expected when anyone loses someone close to them. Have you ever experienced any thoughts of self-harm or suicide?
I guess a little bit. I don't know. It's been a rough 2 months. Like initially, my family was supportive, and yours is too. And it's just hard to see them moving on with life while I'm stuck here alone in what used to be our home. So yeah, sometimes I do feel like what's the point, and like I would be okay if I just didn't wake up.
John, how frequently are you experiencing these feelings and thoughts?
I don't know, a couple of times a week, maybe more, kind of fleeting.
So you're having these feelings a couple times a week. You mentioned that they're fleeting thoughts. Do you have a plan or have any idea the way in which you would carry that out?
Like a plan to kill myself?
Yes.
No, I don't have a plan or anything. I guess I just kind of feel like it'd be okay if I just kind of faded away. But I don't really, I guess I don't have any intentions of like putting a gun to my head or anything.
Okay, so you have no active thoughts or planning any way of killing yourself. It seems like your thoughts are more passive in nature.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, I want to go over the fact that you mentioned you do have some family support. Are these family members anybody that you would call if you're experiencing these thoughts or feelings of suicide?
I guess. Yeah, I could turn to them if I really felt like I was in danger, or if I was actually going to go through something and needed to talk to them, I feel like I have a bunch of people that I could call. I could call my parents or my good brother or sister, but I mean, I could even turn to my in-laws, her parents too, and they would all be there for me in that way. It's just kind of right now, I feel like they're all picking up their lives and moving forward, or her parents are still struggling with it too, so I can't really count on them to help me with my feelings of depression or loss, you know. So it's like I don't want to add to their burden, and then everybody else I know is just kind of moving on, and I'm just stuck here.
So you mentioned that you have the support of family members, for family members, that you would be able to reach out to them if you were having or experiencing these thoughts or feelings of self-harm. Is that something that I can hold you to, that we can make sure that that would happen to ensure your safety?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. I'd also like to kind of come up with a safety contract as well. So that being said, having a list of family members that you could call if you're struggling with these feelings, but you could also call a crisis hotline if you were getting to a point that you felt you were unsafe and you might consider killing yourself. Is that something that would be agreeable to?
I suppose.
Okay. So I want to talk about your family. You mentioned, right now that it seems like they're all kind of moving on and trying to get on with their lives after experiencing the loss of your wife, and you're not inclined to reach out to them because you don't want to burden them. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. So right now, how are you? You mentioned that you're not coping very well with the loss of your wife. What are you doing to get through the day? Can you walk me through a typical day for you?
Well, I guess a typical day would be I just drag myself out of bed and maybe I'll drink something for breakfast, like just a glass of milk. Then I'll head to work, where I feel like I can't focus on my work. I just feel like even though I'm there, I'm just going through the motions. And then my coworkers have been very supportive. They've been nice and they check up on me, and they know that I'm going through a hard time, so they've been picking up a lot of my slack, which is good. And sometimes they'll invite me out after work, and then we'll go to like a happy hour for a couple of drinks, and we'll hang out for a little bit, and then I'll come home.
So it seems like you're still able to get to the workday even though your colleagues are picking up some of your slack. But does going out with them seem to make you feel better even momentarily?
Yeah, I guess while I'm there, I mean, it doesn't really take away the pain. It just kind of distracts me for a little bit, and if anything, it lets me know that they care, which is nice to know.
It seems like you have quite the social support system all around you with your family, her family, your friends, your coworkers, so many people that you can reach out to when necessary. And it seems like there's a lot of people who care about you.
Yeah, I'm very blessed that way. I'm lucky to have them. It just doesn't really make me feel any less lonesome or alone, because Jessica, she was always there, and we did everything together. And then now I have to come home to this apartment where it used to be both of us and we would get to spend time with each other. But now it's just me. And it sounds a little cliche, but it's the whole cold, lonely bed at night.
It sounds like you're not only grieving the death of her, but the life that you guys were going to have together, that the life that you guys had already built together is no longer, and it's just you. And that makes sense to feel lonely when essentially your best friend is no longer with you. John, can I ask you, what do you think it would be like for Jessica if she were to have lost you unexpectedly in the way that you lost her?
You mean like if I had died instead of her?
Yes.
I guess I don't know, I guess I would expect her to handle things a lot better. Because she was always so energetic. Whenever we would go out and do things, she would always just have this smile about her, and she would always be laughing, and just made the life of the party. She was so full of energy and full of life, and it was great to be around her. I really had fun every time we were together, and we had all these plans for each other. We were talking about having kids, and we wanted to move into a home, not just a little apartment. And there were so many things we were going to do with each other. We wanted to travel. We wanted to, I don't know, just go through all the normal life things that people go through with each other. But I think that she would have been a lot stronger because she had always been that kind of strong, hopeful person. So I think if we had traded places, she would be handling herself a lot better than I am.
It seems like you have a lot of shame for the feelings of depression that you're experiencing. The feelings of emptiness and guilt after somebody dies and just depression all around is pretty typical after the loss of a loved one, especially a spouse. So that's quite normal for you to be experiencing this, especially with it having only been 2 months. If the situation were reversed, she would probably be experiencing similar feelings. And she would also probably be having to work through them. So in a way, the fact that she passed before you, she was spared from having to deal with those feelings. It doesn't make it any easier because it was so sudden and she was so young. But she'll never have to deal with those feelings, so you, in a sense, spared her from that. John, I'd like to give you some techniques that'll kind of help you ground you in the moment. Are you familiar with deep breathing at all?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I guess I haven't really tried, but it's been something that has been said.
Well, the whole function of deep breathing is to ground you in the moment, because depression is essentially concern or worry about the past, which makes sense with the loss of your wife. The goal of deep breathing is to kind of keep you in the present moment and not focused in the past or not worried about the future. So right now, I think that that's something that we can work on from here until next week in order to give you a tool to cope with the day-to-day struggles that you're experiencing. I have some literature that I can give to you on your way out if you would be willing to just kind of apply that. How do you feel about that?
I think that'd be helpful. It sounds like something that I could work on to help me kind of focus my mind, which would be nice.
Okay, John, our time is coming to an end. I'd like to thank you for coming in today, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.